Evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. I'm just a little bit early today because if you go to quitefrankly.tv, at least last night, it still says Frank's doing a show at 9 p.m. in roughly exactly 2.5 hours from now. What's up, Patrick? Glad you made it. I said, hi, Nikki. Hope you're well. Looking forward to this. Yeah, me too. Arden, what's up? Glad you made it. However, when we left yesterday's show, Frank was just sort of talking about, like, yeah, I might go live. I might do something because well, yesterday's show ended early. Allegedly, it was because somebody was coming over to help him out in the studio. It sounds like he wants to get maybe some lighting set up, maybe some cameras for the VIP event on September 5th. Just so he's not, standing there with his phone all night. Just set up some cameras and let them do the work. So I get that, but you probably gotta have the lighting adjusted in the green room, possibly. Even though it was fine was when I was there in 2016 and it looked fine. The last time Frank posted that they had a party up in there, probably at Christmas, everything looked fine. You don't have to fuck with it. So why? But that's what he wants to do, and he's trying to get rid of the he didn't quite say it, but everybody noticed how jaundiced he's looking from the yellow. That's from the alcoholism. Lighting isn't going to fix that, so he has to do that. So I think he forgot he had a show scheduled today, or maybe he rescheduled with everybody and forgot to tell us. But on the off chance he does do a show at 9 p.m., I don't want to be scrambling to it, so let me go ahead and just do like I had scheduled and go ahead and go live at 6:30 instead of 7. And if Frank doesn't do a show, that's fine. It's not like he's not busy with other things. Getting stuff set up for roughly a little over a month from now. It's going to be faster for him because everybody's coming to him with his place, so I'm sure he's starting to like feel the crush of time. Oh yeah, no, what's up to Wally if he's with Yarden? So that's what's sort of going on. That's why, I mean, like, yeah, I could have waited till 7, but worst case scenario, the notification. Well, it would allegedly it's one of those Rumble only things, so it would we I don't have Rumble set up to give me notifications, so like, I don't have the app on my phone, or I don't enjoy going there in the slightest. I'm just hopping right over to qf.tv real quick. It's so funny that the official website for the show is not canon. I think that's hilarious. In this day and age, and you go to the official site. Yeah, even right now, it says Saturday Night Specials, Adults in New York, The Retirement Years, Episode 2, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. But he acted like he forgot about it. So it's like, don't hold him to it. Take his word over mine. Let's take this website with a grain of salt. But I do have to come here to look ahead. Right now, he's only got up until about August 1st that he's not doing a Friday show. I only have to know that just to do these. I don't ask him in DMs like, "Are you going to be live that day? What are you doing the next day? What do you?" It's not. It's not that, and anybody could have this kind of schedule based on the information Frank gives us from the show. That's kind of the thing behind it. I'm not getting any insights into his schedule. It's all publicly available information. I'll put it like that. Oh, Arden said Wally is at the West Ham soccer game in New York right now. Oh, sweet. Oh, yeah, Patrick. Yeah, still Saturday there, just. Now, for me, it's not the next day until 6:08 a.m., so it will be a Saturday for you for this whole show, but that's just how I do things. It helps if you're up at 3 and 4 in the morning and you're still writing and writing down the date, so it's still like the same day for you because the sun hasn't come up yet. And then this was also publicly available information in Frank's Discord. I want to say yesterday morning-ish. He said that at the end of the month, I assume this month, he was going to add some more tickets for sale. Did I write it down? Or I want to say for the VIP. I swore I wrote it down. It's coming back to me. I wrote it down. Uh, I just forget what day. Wait, it must have been early Friday. Yeah, 40 more tickets, 10 to 15 for the VIPs. He said that those, because it was just 40 tickets to start out with, those sold out when they went public. Those were sold out within a day. Like if it took more than 24 hours, okay, but it certainly was not 2 days. So those went fast. Those are the ones where if you, it's $500 for the VIP. That gets you into both days. So you're basically spending 350 for the VIP and the rest of it for the day two with the food and the ice cream and all that stuff at Garcia's. Patrick says, Arden, fair play to him. Come on, you irons. And they're playing Manchester United. For anybody who keeps up with UK football, you can't call it soccer. So yeah, if anybody is looking to get tickets for the both events and they didn't get a chance to, or maybe it wasn't payday and just the money wasn't there, it sounds like they're getting a new opportunity. It was just like a few words, like a few sentences in Discord. That's really all the details. So as to exactly when, at the end of the month, it is the end of the month. So what's next month look like? Or not next month, but next week. Okay, there's a few days next week. So yeah, I mean, maybe I'll say something next week. Who knows? How many people can you really fit in there? Because it's a few rooms. I doubt he wants people just like standing around with open beverages in the studio. Even though I'm going to get in there to see the lava lamps if I end up going. Uh, nobody will be able to sit. It's just it's going to be like coach, flying coach, except you're standing up. No, I don't know if the what all they're gonna. I don't know if they're allowed to like spill out into the hallway. Everybody in the building complained. God damn it! There's that Frank again. Who's he got up there this time? Still don't know if I'm going. Yes, the sun is full blown in Leo. We're not on the cusp, but I didn't want to get information about whether or not I'm going and be bummed out for this. So I'm going to wait till tomorrow and DM my friends, see what they know so I can have something to say because I don't know either. So everything's just a little bit up in the air still. Why do I keep missing that page? That's where it starts. Okay. Arden says, you should go. We can't worry because we're supposed to be grandparents on September 4th. Yeah, Arden and Nawali, they've got a grandchild coming, literally the same week or the week before, so that you can't really be newborn, parties. So it just too many states, too much driving. I need to be there though, or they won't have fun. Dylan, what's up? Glad you made it. Because I sort of made peace with the fact, a while ago that this is all I was going to hear about for the rest of my life, so I stopped getting upset about it. And if if I knew I was not going to go, I would have to work too hard to not let you know that, or I'm not trying to cry in front of you. But then if I find out I am going, I don't want to cry in front of you, so it's too big. I don't want it all to hit me while I'm live and just be like sitting here in silence, just like dealing with the magnitude of it. I'd kind of rather be on my own for that, so I don't have to remain composed. So I'll find out tomorrow. That way, if it's bad news, I can be by myself. And yeah, just wait for Monday. Just plan B it, because I gotta try to find a way to get there either way, any way possible. There are going to be some spoilers for some films in this, just because I watched a few films. I think I miss doing the movie reviews, and that's low key what it is. Like, I don't write anything down when I watch movies on my own, since I just don't. I can't concentrate enough to like do that. So like I do it enough for Dark Shadows. I'm glad I'm into that. I'm like 30 some. I'm on disc 5, and there's about 9 episodes per disc. Episode 30 something. I'll be breaking into that soon. So you should start getting into Dark Shadows. The link to it is in the description of this show. It's free on Tubi. Every single last episode, all 1,245. It's split into 2 parts, but you'll see why when you get into it. It doesn't affect. It still looks the same. If you watch it on DVD, the what's called the beginning, the first 209 episodes, they show like the clapboard, so it has like the name of the number of the episode, the date, the recording date. As soon as you get out of the beginning, it stops doing that on the DVDs. But if you watch it on Tubi, that information is not there at all. You don't have to know it. It's just interesting if you are interested in because I don't know a whole lot about producing a TV show. We know more about making movies or YouTube shows and actual TV shows, at least me. So I find that stuff interesting. All right, yeah, started episode 210. A lot of people do. I won't knock anybody if you've never seen the beginning, if you've only watched it from 210 and all the rest, and that's all you know, that's okay. I'm not going to hate on a Dark Shadows fan for what they've seen. There was a poll going around. They're like, okay, aside from the movie in 2012, because I guess everybody hates the movie for the Tim Burton one. They're like, what others of the Dark Shadows media either was your favorite or your least favorite? I haven't seen any of it. I just haven't gotten that far yet. I know there was like the 2004 pilot. I've got that saved. I've got some other media here. I know there's stuff available online. I just have not had that kind of time yet, so I couldn't answer anything. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with starting at episode 210. Maybe 206. But you can start at 210, and that's why the show was on for a year, and then it got picked up for 4 more years, and is still popular 59 years later. There's a reason for it. Now, I sort of mentioned this before because this came up in the chat room. Somebody mentioned the movie Magic, the Anthony Hopkins film from 1978. Jerry Goldsmith score, Richard Attenborough film. Didn't realize that. That's the one. He's a magician, not great at it, but then he gets the ventriloquist dummy in on the routine. And like dummies always have like the raunchy and the dropping F-bombs and like talking about girls' tits and stuff, LOL. So that's why it gets popular, that kind of a thing. Patrick, don't do that. Still haven't updated to Windows 11 yet. Have to do it soon. No, I've heard it's malware. Everybody just complains about it. Don't do it. Stay on Windows 10. That's what I've got. Just say no. But yeah, Anthony Hopkins' character, I've seen it maybe twice. It is on Tubi right now. Again, it's free. Like, this man just completely falls apart. I know it kind of goes crazy there, but like, dude, like the way he's just arguing with this dummy and just, it's all him doing it, especially when he's holding it. So he's just like he's sweating and he can barely stay up. Meanwhile, the dummy's all composed and like telling him what to do and what to think. Oh, grab this, do that. And like this man just like sweating, could not be worse off. And like the dummy's calm. I'm like, dude, how did this man not get an Oscar back then? He didn't get an Oscar until The Silence of the Lambs and that came out in 91. So they were sleeping on my man. But I will say this is probably the biggest spoiler. I forgot about this because eventually he does sort of, he needs to get away from it, and then he goes to this place. I guess it's from his childhood. I didn't realize at the time, but then he runs across this lady, and he's like, oh man, she didn't even recognize me. And then she's off by herself. She's like, wow, he didn't even recognize me. I'm thinking, oh, did they have a thing? Not really. Back in high school, like she didn't even notice this dude, and he always had a crush on her. And like her, I want to say it's Anne Margaret. I don't know her work from other places. I don't know if she's always like this. I don't know if they told her to act this way, but this chick is annoying as fuck. How did his character have a crush? He had a crush on her because he never spoke to her. If he spoke to her, he wouldn't have a crush on her. This chick is just so fucking annoying, to just grating, just Like, I just want to push you down in the mud. I don't want to fuck you or nothing. I want to go home. I'd rather go to the insanity of Hollywood than have to. But it just, that grated my nerves so bad. I'm like, why does he like this chick? Is he that desperate? He's not a bad looking dude. Is his self esteem that low? But it's a good movie. It kind of made me feel more entertained than, I don't think it was 2 hours, but I felt like I was getting more out of it than that. And having not seen it in so long, you know, oh no, what's out in the lake? What is he gonna do here? Oh no, is it really the dummy doing the killing, or is it really him? And a good ending. Oh no, Patrick, Windows 10 going in September. I have quite a few laptops, probably going to use Zorin 3.1. Yeah. The way everybody talks about Linux, I don't know what that is, but it sounds like it's better than Windows. It sort of has me thinking, well, if I had to. Hmm. Wait, what was I watching? Yeah, that was also Tubi. They've got the Birdcage. How do they not have it back when? Oh, Erica, what's up? I was talking about Magic from 1978, Anthony Hopkins, Jerry Goldsmith score. It's a fella who's has a ventriloquist and he's trying to break into the business. It doesn't quite work out for him because reasons. I don't want to spoil anything if you've never seen it. It is the 70s too. I will tell you this because at a certain point I just could not anymore. This is why I know it started in the 60s, so it's not the 70s fault, but I don't understand why all of a sudden it's just every single earth tone you've ever seen in your entire life as clothing. Every beige, every brown, every tan, every khaki. What happened to color? Did he use it all up in the 60s and there was nothing left in the 70s because everybody had straws up their nose? I don't understand, but I just can't. I just can't. Oh, I don't know how far I got into it, but I had to white knuckle it. It was just so much brown. There was not one other color in the store. You can't cut yourself. I mean, okay, if you cut yourself and bleed on it, it's still going to be brown, but there's no escaping it. That was the hardest part about getting through the film. Oh man. There was a love making scene. I just happened to use the restroom then. Just I didn't want to like laugh at the performances. Maybe it's a good scene. If there was nudity, I would remember it. So I just needed a quick bathroom break just then. That's not necessary. Nothing Anthony Hopkins is bad looking or nothing. If you don't want to see him nude from the back, watch Titus from 1999. I mean, how old was he then? Arden says, I remember wearing those earth tones. Now, like a Cancer, and she is one. Cancers look so good in brown. They can pull it off like no other sign. I don't know why. More power to them. Let them have it. Let them have it. Like, I've got some brown clothing. Like, I've got a Deadwood, you know, the town, not the TV show, like, shirt. I'm not trying to dress like a Cancer. That's completely the opposite sign. Let them wear it well and leave the rest of us alone. We can't do it justice. Oh, Dale, I'm eating a steak and my coonhound is losing her mind. Oh, steak. Arden says, yeah, Art just had her birthday. It's like around the 4th of July. That's so cool. But like I worked with a girl at the factory. She was a Cancer. Like those look good in brown. She could just wear it like nobody else. And then the rest of us are just wearing brown clothing. It's just like there's a time and a place for khaki. Like it's fine in the Mummy, but it's just one shade. It's not every single shade of brown on the planet. I just can't. I'm sure even Tolkien would be like, and he's straight and everything, but I'm sure even he would like appreciate a little pop of color. Yeah, Patrick, I'm a Cancer. My navy blue, my favorite color, clothes wise. Yeah, like dark blue is fine. Like I don't like blue is an unlucky color for me, but I do have blue jeans. Dark blue jeans. You want your blue jeans dark, dark, dark. You don't want acid wash. You don't want holes in them. You don't want light jeans. Dark, dark, dark blue. Uh, yeah, so Monday's show, this is, we're back all the way on July 21st, 2025. That's the day Jerry Goldsmith passed in 2004. I didn't find out about it until 3 weeks later, so I felt even worse about it. We weren't really online all of the time every single day in 2004, so I have to forgive me for that, but I feel like I should have like felt it, but it's, yeah. But the thumbnail for the show, now these are made by people now, they're not the AI thumbnails most of the time. It's Jay Gulanello's there, Jupiter Gulanello, and he's laughing, and then there's like a tombstone in the middle, and you can see his fangs. Yeah, it was a very on brand for him. Oh, they were. I don't know if this was something new or something old. We owe you Bill Cooper over on Twitch. What's up? I was gonna call it Twitter. My bad. Arden says, my fellow Cancer, Patrick, I usually wear black, white, navy, maybe some red or yellow. Patrick said, June, July babies, lovely people. Dell says, I'm a Scorpio. I wear a lot of gray, black, and dark green. Yeah, Scorpios get to wear red. If you have babies, it's unlucky to dress babies in black. And we all saw Addams Family Values, but that was a movie. Do not dress babies in black. That is bad luck. Like it's bad luck to wear green to a wedding. Look at Xander and Anya's wedding, or lack thereof, in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I don't know how they get around it in Ireland. I'm sure Irish weddings are wild AF. Something about a racist Mr. Ed on YouTube. It's something called The Damn Show, like DAMN, like the swear. Maybe that's something older on YouTube that they remember because Frank is 69 and Jupiter Gulanello is between 200 and 400, 500 years old. Art said, good to know, wouldn't have even thought of dressing the baby in black. Like if it's Halloween, pumpkins are cliche, don't do that to your baby. But you're not cool. Let's say if you you know how they sell now, it's a regular ass t-shirt, but it looks like it's like the suit jacket and the tie with like the button down shirt, you know, like in a onesie. Don't put that on the baby. You're not cute, you're not cool. That's just as lame as getting married on Halloween. Which one of you has the Jack Skellington tattoo? Oh, well, you Bill Cooper. Said I'm a Gemini with green eyes. Any colors to wear come to mind? Yeah, oh, that's green, blue would work. I'm not up on all of the colors. I'm trying to think of what the unlucky colors are for the signs, and the only one I can think of is, this doesn't make sense. They say Tauruses should not wear red, but they look really good in red. I don't know about that one. Capricorns, for lucky colors, we get black and green. I believe that's just because of Saturn. Virgos look really good in white. They can wear it well, like white purity. They get that thing. With green eyes like that, you should try to play with like different like color green, like jacket or shirt like that, just to make your like your eye color pop. It's nothing gay about it. Just like if you were taking a picture and you wanted your eye color to pop in the photo, you would wear like a similarly colored green shirt. You notice stuff like that when you start paying attention to clothing and like TV and movies. Like, why do I notice this more? Oh, it's because those two are the same color. Oh, I noticed that when I paid attention. Who'd have thought? This was the story about this guy. I want to say maybe the wife got the MRI, but the dude goes into the room and he's wearing this 20-pound chain around his neck for air quotes weight training. Like you're gonna float off of the damn planet, you dumb bastard. So now he's 6 feet under, and his wife has to go to a funeral because of his dumbass fashion sense. He didn't know how gravity worked. Arden, with green eyes, you can wear jewel tones, I think. Yeah. Really, Bill Cooper. Yeah, you're welcome. Just, wear, like try different stuff on just to see what looks good on you. Like, say, like, okay, this is sort of like, it's sort of silvery in real life, but it's maybe like, say, a medium looking gray color on camera, and it looks like this. I could wear, say, a lighter gray, put that on. It might make my skin look darker. And then I could try a darker gray and put that on. It might make my skin look lighter. It's something that if your eye doesn't naturally pick up, do it in front of a mirror. As dumb as that sounds, I know it's the same thing. But sometimes, like if I have a bruise or something on my arm or my leg, I can't see it unless I'm looking in a mirror, and then I'll be like, oh, I must have bumped my leg. Or just take it like take a photo of yourself and just natural lighting to see how it looks, because it just how cameras are. You're going to look one way in a photo versus in real life in a mirror, just to gauge how that's going to be. In this day and age, we're going to be on camera, whether it's voluntary or not. And if you want to, do it for yourself. Don't do it for the security cameras. Arden, on camera, your shirt looks green on your screen. Yeah, it's a little. Everything does get a little bit of a greenish tinge. Maybe it's because of all of the gray. And then this here, it's sort of it's neon green, not neon yellow. Uh, and then with the lighting, it's since I've got like that like it's a pastel purple bandana wrapped around it. I'm sure that affects the way the light goes through that and hits me. Yeah, maybe it's because of green backdrop reflections, or maybe it's just there's like a tone in this, because this is gray as well, just regular gray. Maybe there's like a green tone in it that you just can't see in real life, but when the light hits it and the camera picks it up, it's like, oh, you know what? And just it just puts in green to show because it's a computer and it can't think. MRIs suck anyway. They lay you on this plastic, so your back's gonna hurt anyway, and then everything's close and loud, and then you leave and nothing happens. So I would never do that again. Art, it's gray. Yeah, I know it does look. It even looks green on my TV sometimes if I like move out of the shot, or if there's a certain kind of movement and the camera can't keep up. Things look a little bit extra, not green like a glitch, but just green gray, like a bruise or something. Something about the Dulsa at 20% off, code sugar sucks, all in caps, all one word. I don't know how much. I think I looked it up, but I've forgotten it. I don't know how much it costs. Some people have ordered it, but use the promo code. I don't think she knows to use promo code, frankly. But that's the stuff where it's sweetener, but there's no sugar, no honey, something to do with seaweed. I do like green. I kind of wish there was something here of a color. Even that towel back there is gray. That doesn't help. And then if I wear purple, it's just too dark. Oh yeah, you are on the right spot, Nikki M. Carlin. Like this is purple, of course, but it looks so dark. And then I don't know if that's it could just be because I've got the darkness turned way down on this until I gotta plug it in. So maybe it's lighter for you right now. Oh, what's my battery at? Okay. Patrick said, I would imagine all you gals are great. Yeah, all the chicks here are awesome. I don't know about other places. Yeah, Jay, Jupiter Gulanella was on. I remember him saying this now. Basically, if your doctor put you on insulin, they've already failed you. And he was getting into, how could that happen? And I'm thinking that's the point, to get everybody on insulin. That's why they want everybody fat, and they want you to be type 2 diabetic before you're 10 years old so they can put you on insulin. And then I guess that just, he said, being on insulin just speeds up the process. It sounds like it kills them faster. So that all makes sense now. That's why they do that. For murder. Or, yeah, some guy recently died recently because he was wearing a chain and went to the MRI room. Yeah. Like, let me put on all of my put all my magnets into a cup and microwave it and expect nothing bad to happen. So here's a fella who lived how many years of life and did not understand gravity or magnets. Life should kind of teach you about gravity. That's kind of a trial and error thing. Magnets, if you play with them for a little bit, it just word of mouth. You kind of hear what you can and can't do with them. I guess nobody talked to him. William Bill Cooper, Jupiter. If it isn't Jupiter, it has to be Jessup. Do you mean Giuseppe? That starts with a G. I like to Giuseppe Gulanello, Jello Gulanello, 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 Jugular Vampirello. Somebody asked about Lily of the Valley. Last we knew, maybe about a year and a half ago, she was having tech troubles. It's like her phone was acting up, and then at the same time, her laptop got a virus. So her electronics were just out. And then we didn't hear from her for a few months. And then I started doing shows. So in the comments of one of my shows last year around this time, maybe before, she got on there just talking about, hey, I had to borrow my daughter's phone. Just kind of reiterating that she was just having tech issues and she would just sort of be back around when she could. And again, it's been like a year and a half, so it wasn't anything, medical or nobody got hurt. It was just phone, and like I don't know what her work situation or money situation is like. So if the money just was not there, it wasn't there. The only thing I can say, I liked her too. I think she would dig these shows. Lily was the one up. She was colorblind, so she would put her heart emojis in there, and there would be some kind of orangey, burnt sienna type of. It's a color people don't usually use, but I don't know what color they see when they do that. Um, she was one of the people who used emojis a lot more, and then suddenly she has these tech problems, and we never see her around anymore. I can only put two and two together and think, maybe typing all those Satan symbols had a little bit of something to do with it, and now I just think I'm never going to get to see her again. Dill, yeah, Jello Shot Gulanello, back when he was on his band. Patrick, perhaps he was drawn by a bad god. Yeah, just dude was just out of it and thought I'm gonna wear all of my heaviest metal in front of the biggest magnet I've ever been in front of, and think I'm gonna go home. Maybe it was suicide. We don't know. We don't know what the marriage was like. What a dick. Lily's the one who she's Scottish, but she moved to Jersey. Like, why? And then somebody or maybe Frank mentioned it or the chat room mentioned just watching TV or people don't watch TV. Stephen Colbert, I guess he didn't just get fired from his job; they canceled the entire show. Uh, yeah, I was not like the last time I was a heavy late night TV watcher regularly was the late '90s, so it's not my thing. Patrick, Lily of the Valley. Yeah, she's from Scotland. She's a Capricorn chick. She just it came around one day, just cool to talk with. Was around for I don't know, like a year or two. Like at a lot of shows, so it's not like she was like some people were there for a bit and they're gone for a while. Like she was there pretty regularly, and so a lot of people got to know who she was. Anybody Scottish who wanted to call in to hear the accent, they always say no. And then she just was not there anymore. So of course everybody worried, but who are we going to ask? And was that around the time when we only had the 1 hour of chat on YouTube, so things were very bad anyway. And then again, I started doing my shows, and then I'd see all the comments, I get notifications about them. I'm like, wait, there's a name. I'm getting a comment on a name that I've never seen in the chat room before at my show. What the hell? Oh, Jessup Bantoto spells it with a J. Oh, okay. I don't know who that is. My bad. Is it Jessup? No, that'd be a U with Jessup. Is it American? I don't know how to say it. Oh, Patrick says, I think she goes on some of those Q channels now. I mean, as long as she's still around, I just want her to be able to have a device and still be alive and healthy, even if she's not talking to us. Oh, Dragon Sage, what's up? Glad you made it. William Cooper, gravity is still a theory. It could just as likely be density as gravity. I'd have to look into that. That sort of makes sense. But yeah, TV watching, it's not necessarily watching TV that's the problem. It's just the regularly scheduled ads that I'm not going to watch. I don't have time in my short life to waste watching a commercial for something I give zero fucks about. So I don't have whatever you're selling. I hope your business goes under. I have nothing good to say about it. I'll catch the first second of ads, and one comes up, and it's this lady talking about she's overdosing, and I'm thinking skill issue. Don't advertise to me. Like, don't upsell me. Would you like anything else? Yeah, I want you to hit total. One to go to. Glad you made it. And Dandy, how's it going? Dragon Sage says, I miss Lily of the Valley. Yeah, me too. We just kind of think she's just out there. And again, a lot of folks could still be keeping up with the show, but we just don't know because they can't chat because they just can't watch live or they're cooking dinner or something. But at least they're keeping up with it. Oh, and then I thought, quite lately with Quite Frankly, just give Frank that spot. I don't know what time Colbert Show came on, but I could always watch it after the fact. Arden said another person that chatted was Herkimer. Used to get emails from him regularly, but not for like 3 months. Oh. He seemed to like randomly have like health issues. I wonder if something like just flared up and he just can't be around for a while. Dragon Sage, I'm doing great. Been jamming. Great stuff with my brothers. Sweet. Thermodynamics and Oreos, Russell said. That's what it was. Shane was saying if you hold a lighter to an Oreo, I'm thinking just what, lazy s'mores? No, I guess they don't burn. I would try that out, but Oreos are a little bit expensive. Like, I'm just holding a lighter to this for how much? Cause then I'm going to pop it in my mouth and burn it. That's not smart. And here's Frank doing he already did the AI content on Monday, and then he's got to do the gross out stuff with Jupiter Gulanello on the show, who's bringing food to the event. That's 3 fucking times. And if shit had not gone down with Tony Black, he's gonna be fine. But if that had not gone down, I would have messaged Frank about it now, because that's 3 times. And let me find out I'm going, and it happens a 4th time, I'll really go off. That shit's fucking disgusting. Real quick, Tony Black. It was like on Thursday. He had a stomach ache, so he went to the ER, and he was just dehydrated. And Frank found out during the show, and then Friday we got an update, and he's gonna be released. So it's okay. It was just dehydration. So drink plenty of water. And yeah, hot as hell up though. Yeah, it's humid. It rained a little bit. John Rogers, glad you made it. And then it's just like the humidity just stuck around. Like, stop it. Oh, and apparently Ozempic makes people lose muscle, not fat. That's why I guess they get that skinny fat look when they're on it. But that's what anorexia does. So Ozempic is just anorexia with extra steps. But like you're just gonna get my body without the injections. And then how Frank has the cameras set up, it's always like Jupiter's always looking up because that's where Frank has the TV up on the wall. But then he had like Molly from Keto Brains on there, so she had her little, square up there, and it looks like Jupiter's looking up at her. Somebody said Scott Ann likened us to the Brady Bunch. And then Paint Drop and Arrow said, here's the story of a crew named Frank Leaf. Don't want to sing at you. I said, yeah, and the dad's gay. Hey, we're on to something. Ugh. Oh, this must be. Shoot. I wrote down 25% off, and then, like Frankly, like promo code Frankly. NT, glad you made it. I didn't write down a website or anything like that. Molly was on, so oh, I know what it is. Okay, Molly was talking about this product that it's a pill and you take it, and she said a fucked up shoulder, and it's been helping with that. I forget the name of the website. It is 25% off and promo code Frankly. It's originally it's like 150, and then you put in the promo code and it's 112, and I'm just not in the market for that, and I think it would help, but being healthy costs too much money, so oh fucking well, that's why I didn't write down the name of the website. So but that use promo code Frankly everywhere. If you're paying your bail, use promo code Frankly. If you're prepaying a funeral, use promo code Frankly. If it doesn't work, all they can do is say no. Arden, it's 82 here in Philly. Ugh. That's not okay. Because then it's humid on top of it. And then Puff went live at 10:30. I watched that. I was so tired, and I ended up staying up. I watched some of that. Was it an hour? They're doing this thing. They're on a server, so it's like a few of them, but they're a law office and having trials. So there's all this backstory going on. And Pup doesn't know what's going on, so they made him the judge so he'd be impartial. Dragon Sage, I'm unslaved. Michael, oh, what's up? He says Keto has buy 3, get 1 50% off right now, too. Oh, hell yeah. That is one thing with Keto Brains. They do often have deals and sales on information, and I still get the emails from them. So if you're interested in their products, I mean, like you're automatically sort of signed up for emails unless you haven't subscribed. But I mean, if you're interested in buying other stuff, they do have promotions and like 15% off and 20% off. Whatever the next major holiday is, maybe they'll have a deal for that. Uh, Monday. Wait, did I get up early Monday? That wouldn't have made sense if I did. I don't remember. Oh, hell yeah. John Rogers says, got my oil change today. Getting ready for my trip home. Hell yeah. I miss those long drives. I love driving. It seems like here lately I'll get a DM from my brother, and then it's like, oh, it's with these folks dying. Because like earlier in the day, I get a DM that Ozzy died. It's like, him? I don't want to say finally, because he's not like he was terribly old, but I didn't realize he was in like a bunch of pain from neck surgery and stuff like that. So just he's not in pain anymore. So that's the important thing. Like I didn't know he was sick or anything like that. But he was 76, and like he was like the way they always portray rock stars as just like sluts, basically. He's like one of the dudes. As wild as his stage persona is, Joe was home with his wife and his family. No matter what state they were in, it seemed like he loved his family, and wasn't divorced and none of that stuff. So he seemed like just a family man, and just again, to this day, people can't separate the man's public life from his private life, and they probably think he's in hell right now. It's like, calm down. So yeah, I'm sure he's selling a bunch of albums now, and his everything's getting all the clicks on YouTube, and then later on this week, Puff did mention R.I.P. Ozzy, so I'm glad he's a fan. It's so weird for me to see like Zoomers into music that's on a low battery. Please don't freeze. Oh, like music that Gen Xers would listen to, like Skip My Generation, and then like the next generation is digging it, so that's cool. John Rogers says, last year I was mentally in a fog when I did it. Oh, I'm glad you made it there and back. I was worried about you for that one. Michael said, my favorite, to John Rogers, my favorite chore besides the lawn. I gotta get an oil change. I'm glad you mentioned that. So Frank's guest was this guy. He's been on before, and I only remember that because we made fun of his name before. Um, I called him Miking, Mike hyphen ing. His real name is Mike King, but you can't. It doesn't quite flow. And even writing Miking, I kept trying to write Miking, like taking out the E, which it would be proper English, but it's a first name, so you can't. Yeah, grammar issues. Mike Ing. Patrick said, Ozzy, typical Brummy from Birmingham. Live it how he saw it. Yeah. And I don't like back when he had his reality show. I don't remember if I don't I didn't watch it, but I'm sure that's something my friend would have watched. So if I would have been at his house, it would have just been like on. Like he watched the Kardashians, I didn't. I'm like turn this shit off. God. Based Mike D for Life said sexual assault rifle and AR 69. And when he said sexual assault, no, not the violence kind, the sexy kind, like flashing, not touching. Dandy said, I found out the Eurythmics song "No More I Love Yous" is a cover. Never knew what that all these years. Oh, I didn't know. That's what comes up, these like 50 songs you didn't know were covers, and like I don't give a shit about 50 songs. Like I only care about the songs that I like, and then you find out they're covers. Like I didn't know Natalie Imbruglia's Torn is a cover. I don't know what the original sounds like, but it's like a poppy fun pop song about a not really happy topic. I like that part of it, but I didn't know it was a cover. Arden's asking if Ozzy was a soccer slash football fan to Patrick. Michael said, Nikki, I think I'm hitting a spam filter. The peptides website from Molly's is Mind Thy, Thy, mitochondria. Okay, I remember the thy because that's so, we don't speak that way anymore. Yeah, Mind Thy Mitochondria. Use promo code Frankly, all caps, for 25% off. It is an easier site to use than Keto Brains because I went and looked right at the show. I'm thinking, oh God, this is going to be 5 years out of my life. But all I did was go there, put it in the cart, go to the page, put in the promo code, and then it told me the amount, and I'm like, God damn, that's too much. And then I went back to the show, but and I don't know how much it would be for shipping and handling, but it works. The promo code works. I don't know about the product. I'll never know. Yeah, the worst part about, I mean, not probably not the worst part, but when John Rogers was talking about being in the hospital, they just would not give the man his glasses or his phone for the longest time. I'd have been going off. I'd have been throwing everything. I would have burned that place down and been locked up before I was demitted, deadmitted, released, whatever they freed. NT, why do people use filters? Can't we all just look the age we're supposed to? Those filters are so gay because what if you start looking at them and then you feel worse about yourself? So then you're just buying more, I don't know, Clearasil and getting it. It's just a lot of people don't have the self esteem to use those things safely. And that's why you got, a 20-year-old worrying about wrinkles. Like, unless you're getting the plastic surgery to pull your cheeks all the way out, Lady Gaga, you don't have to worry about getting wrinkles under your eyes. If you're a heavy drug user, yeah, you do, but you're not worried about getting your skin exfoliated when you could be hitting the crack pipe. I've never once seen a junkie interested in healthcare. Those worlds never collide. John Rogers said, I went nuts. I thought they had my phone hid there. I would too. I would be flipping out, especially now. That's why I can't go to a hospital. I will hurt people. I know that about myself, so I keep myself away from that place. They don't need to become my victims. But if you put me under that roof, you had your warning. It's like you cannot imagine the immensity of the fuck I do not give. And he just wait till he sees you without the filter. You realize how you're supposed to feel. Well, like those ladies who they got to wake up early and put on makeup before their husband sees them, and then they've got to wait for them to go to bed before they take their makeup off. Stop eating junk to just clean your skin. That's it. It's the foundation, not makeup foundation, but it's what's under the skin that's going to be make you look pretty. If you're going to eat right and drink water and stuff, you're going to look better than somebody who eats junk and has to cover their face up with makeup, because all that's going to do, and guys know what this is like, well, when you have a surface with a bunch of paint chipped off and you just paint over it and paint over it and paint over it, you just get those bumps from where those chips were. And so like you look at it at the right light, and it just it looks like the surface of the moon on your skin. That's not cute. What if your guy wants to like touch you and you're like ducking him like he's gonna hit you? That looks odd in public. John Rogers, at first I thought I was in Sandusky Hospital, but I found out I was in Cleveland. Ohio? Oh, fuck this. Because they make all those hospitals look the same. Arden says, glad you found mowing. Arden said to John Rogers, glad you found mowing therapeutic. Our daughter loves mowing also, dreaming of the John Deere riding mower. Having a Hank Hill moment. And T, yeah, no. Maybe some guys want that, but I don't know. If you need your lady to look perfect all the time, you're probably homosexual. And it's like a self-esteem thing. It's so sad that you think nobody's going to look twice at you or treat you like a human being unless you've got an inch of makeup on your face, and you don't realize that you got to get your diet right and all that stuff to even start to break away from all the makeup in the world is not going to fix your skin or your self-esteem. And then you see people, every single picture they have, it's some kind of Photoshop or some kind of filter that just makes them look uglier. You don't like, it's okay to want to look better, If you don't like your look and you want to like improve things, you don't like your nose or your chin or something like that. Like it's okay. Like draw fan art of yourself. It's deal with it. Don't get plastic surgery. That's no reason. They can fuck you up worse. And it's different if you're say a lady and you're working on as a stewardess. I'm pretty sure you have to wear makeup for that job. It's part of it's like being a stage performer. You're going to have to put on all the grease paint and stuff. It's part of the profession, but you shouldn't have to wear all of that makeup just to like cash your check, just to go to the grocery store. Like nobody's looking at you that hard. Calm down. You're not that special. It's low self esteem, and they think they're just like they're the Queen of England. Nobody's looking twice at your ugly, insecure ass. Michael, I saw a makeup conservative guy post that physical attraction between men and women is a myth. Incredible. People have their shape preferences. Yeah, here's another story that the woman thought her husband was a serial killer, and she told the cops. And then sometime later, she turns around and shoots her 7-year-old because she couldn't stand the thought of her husband, her child, being raised by her husband, who she thought was a serial killer. Didn't get any confirmation that he was, but she is. I mean, it's not a serial killing if it's just one, but she's still a murderer. Nobody cared about that. We owe you Bill Cooper, yeah, or a mobster. They like their woman looking great all the time. Yeah, they marry them for a certain reason. And then there are, once you get to like richer folks, they have it in the prenup. Like the woman, if she does have a baby, she's got to get her weight back down in a certain amount of time, or it's off. That's California rich people stuff. Arden said Wally was wearing all kinds of claret and blue when he left the game. What's claret? Is that a color? John Rogers said, I think I'm here because my mom came up and kind of snapped me out of it. Yeah, yeah, kind of. It's like, no, you're in Cleveland, son. I'm sorry. And see, just more proof I'm glad I'm single with no kids. Yeah, turn off autocorrect. Go to Brave, the search engine, type in your phone and how to turn off autocorrect, and that'll tell you how to do it. Yeah, Mike is a little bit funny because he was wearing a black shirt, thankfully, but then he was sitting outside, so hat on. He's again, like when people contradict themselves, and it couldn't be more than that much text. But he was saying he has an e-bike, but then he was saying he has an old school mentality. Those two statements contradict one another. What happens when your e-bike runs out of e? Is it just stationary? Do the tires not roll anymore? Oh, Arden, claret is a dark color of red, like burgundy. Because you said claret, and I'm thinking that's like a drink, like alcohol. But oh, right, right. So he's wearing like super dark red and blue. Arden said, John Rogers, you're lucky you have your mom, but not lucky that you needed it. Yeah, just like I'm glad she was there. It's nobody else could have done that. And then they got into the whole thing like if you're in the middle of nowhere and a cop's trying to pull you over, some folks won't because they don't know if it's a real cop, so they'll drive to a place that's more well lit, and that is good advice to give anybody because people do impersonate police officers often. Not all the time, but it does. You do hear stories about that. But they were saying just people in the chat room and on the show, just random advice: keep the door locked, ask for a badge or ID, And some people said if you have your phone, call the local PD, ask, hey, I'm being pulled over. Is this one of your guys? And that way they'll have a record of that call no matter what, whether that is their guy trying to pull you over or not. So that's good. And T says, Nikki, who's your favorite comedy actor of the 80s? Hmm. I mean, I'm a huge Robin Williams fan. He's like when he passed, it felt like my funny uncle passed away, and I did have an uncle who was like funny, like haha funny, that passed away, so it felt like it happened twice. I would have found out about him in the 80s. Um, oh, John Candy. Oh, I have not watched his movies in so long. I want to watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Like, I feel like I've only seen that once in my whole life, and it would have been when I was a child, and I'm sure I would appreciate it a lot more now. Steve Martin was good back in the day. Uh, he's got some good, maybe a little bit more 70s stuff. He was still good in the 80s. I don't wish him bad. Steve Martin very much seems like the type where, like, if he's not performing, like, leave him alone. He just wants to be at home with his family, being quiet. He doesn't want to go out and do anything crazy. He just wants to work and have his life. Bill Murray is so good. Oh my God, he's still good. Michael said, I'd be surprised if it wasn't Robin Williams or Steve Martin. Yeah, they're both good, but Robin Williams, oh my God, it's not. He could do it all. You start with the comedy thing. That's great. That man has made me laugh so hard. I couldn't laugh. I heard something so funny. It was like tears, like you just heard somebody died. In Mrs. Doubtfire, and then Flubber, Disney film, very upbeat. But it gets to this one part and something happens and Robin Williams is line and I'm just bawling my fucking eyes out. And I'm like, this is a kid's movie. It was worse than Up. Like, why did you do this? Yeah, Chevy Chase is one. Like, watches very much older stuff, and then you get into, like, he was good on Community, but he was a nightmare to work with. I like some Eddie Murphy back in the day. Oh, Wee Cooper, John Candy, and Uncle Buck. Great performance. John Candy really cared. He really wanted his career to do well. So if his film did not do well, like you can just see him in interviews, like, "Hey man, everybody really loved working on this project. It's just, um, Michael, is it 24-hour photo or 12-hour photo? Robin Williams in. If you ever watched him on Whose Line Is It Anyway, which it's still available, you'll see him with like platinum blonde, like super short hair in the early 2000s, and we've never seen him that way before. Here's why: it's what the hell is that film called? But he plays a bad guy, and it's a very quiet, very understated. Oh, John Belushi, holy shit! A type of film. It's not a big in your face film. It's almost like the like following the serial killer part of a crime drama type of show, but it's a movie. 1 hour photo. That's what it was called. I didn't even have to look it up. I remembered it. Haven't seen it in a while. I've probably maybe seen it twice in my whole life. I remember like I would probably have trouble watching it now because I'm sort of recalling a lot of white. There was a lot of like sterile background. It's shot this way on purpose. It's supposed to sort of make you feel unnerved a little bit. Very well shot, but very understated performances. Shit really doesn't really pop off until the end. You're getting these little clues along the way. You don't even really find out what Robin Williams' character's real beef is. Like he sort of hints at it at the end. Don't want to spoil anything about it because it's so good. I could, but like no, like watch that for yourself. Whew. Oh, George Carlin, hell yeah. George Carlin did not look like himself when he first started out in like the 50s. I'm like, that does not look like George Carlin. Why do they call him that? I'm like, oh, he's just younger. John Rogers says they are restoring the car from Tommy Boy. They're going to label all of the parts with Callahan Auto Parts numbers. Hell yeah! I never saw the Steve Martin King Tut thing. I really should. And yeah, Belushi. Oh, Pee Wee Herman. Oh, come on, Pee Wee Herman. I'm still pissed off that his show was canceled. Children don't understand why his show was canceled. They just know their show is not on anymore. They were forcing kids to think about sex by doing that. They could have let that man kept his job and shut the fuck up about it, and nobody would have gotten hurt. But no, R.I.P. to him. Patrick, Brits love sarcasm and self-deprecation. I love their style of humor. Just like, oh well, that's just how it is. Yeah, there's Jimmy. He's just like that. We just let him go. He's not hurting anybody. I never saw any Benny Hill. Ooh. John Rogers, yeah, that was BS. I'm like, where I could not have been 10 years old, and that would have been like if they canceled Sesame Street. We wouldn't have known why. We didn't watch the news. We're fucking children. We're waiting for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to come on and shit like that. And yeah. And see, I love dumb comedy. It's an underappreciated form of art, form of humor. Yeah, like you can have your smart comedy like Monty Python. You can have your slapstick comedy like the Three Stooges. John Rogers, yeah, he was in an adult theater. He talks about that. He's like, yeah, I like playing Pee Wee because I was always in a character and nobody recognized me out of character until they did. And yeah, I mean, it was like it's an adult in an adult place. He wasn't in a kindergarten or a school. It's yeah. Frank's drinking his air quotes drink water. Then we had somebody call in, and I sort of figured this out. Everybody figured it out at the same time. Like, is this thingy Brian again? Oh God, he got through, and that just could not wait for that to end. Oh, yeah, more AI. Oh, handwriting fail. I have no idea what that says. Hmm. Well, this was something Shane said. He said sharks are mean. I'm like, they just want a hot meal. That's why I like my trebuchet idea. Sharks got to eat too. Did I tell you about the story about that 2 year old down in Florida? Let me know if I told that story before. I think I just saw the video about it and thought about it. I don't think I brought it up on here. Let me know if I did or not. If I didn't, let me know. I don't want to repeat myself. If you've never heard me talking about a man and a woman taking their 2 children to Florida on a trip and something bad happened, let me know. John Rogers, yeah, I saw where their museum has his bike. Yeah, Pee Wee Herman's bike has been restored. It must be it's in a museum somewhere. If it's not, it will be. Maybe it's going to be at the Alamo. I saw something about that. Must have been on Tumblr. Patrick Benny Hill got too non-political at the end, so they got rid of him towards the end, but it was funny. Okay, yeah, Michael, I don't think I told that story before. Yeah, this was not uh oh well the channels that cover some kind of like tragic event. I don't try to watch a lot of these, but every once in a while you're like, well, I don't have it as bad as them. Let's see where they made their mistake, so I don't make the same mistake, kind of a thing. Like don't want to end up dead. Okay, I probably didn't, Dill. Yeah, thanks. Because I talk about so much stuff. What happened? What now? This would have been sometime in the last 15 years. This was not very long ago. It wasn't the 90s. It wasn't 10 years ago. So let's say like 15. It's an American couple. They're from somewhere that's it was like maybe a time zone or two away from Florida. They either had to drive or fly in. It's a man and a woman and their two children. They've got a 2 year old, and the other child is maybe like four. It couldn't have been like they're not school age. They're still like toddling around. So first of all, why are you taking a 2 year old on vacation? How many vacations do you remember from when you were two? But I guess it doesn't matter now. So they decide that they want to go to Florida, probably check out the Disney stuff, which that's, why else would you bring the little ones along unless you want them to have fun too? So I get it. So they, the four of them, they go down to Florida. I want to say they drove in. I'm not sure, but I want to say that if you go to Florida, there's an alligator somewhere on the sign. I would assume they have it like that when you drive in. Don't know what it's like when you land at the airport. What's up, Brenda? Glad you made it. She says she's cooking and listening. Nice. NT 15 years ago, not that long. Tell that to a married man who's now divorced. It just, I mean, 10 years was a long time ago, but I sort of have a sense of when things fell apart for myself. So if it happened prior to October 31st, 2014, that's sort of in a separate bubble than how I am now. So that's how I sort of gauge time with everything. So it was before that, but it wasn't the 90s. Let's say 15 years. 20 seems like too long. So they get to Florida and they get to their hotel, and it's sort of just not. It's of course everything. It's Florida. Everything's basically on the beach, resort wise. It's not like right there is the ocean. It's sort of like there's like maybe a little cove, so you're not saying getting like big waves splashing. It's all very calm and gentle, very serene. Lovely views. Sunset, palm trees, and all that. But in this cove, they have signs posted up, no swimming. So, okay. So the husband takes the two children down to the beach. They just want to hang out on the sand. And as they're walking to a spot, the little 2 year old just kind of splashing his feet in the water, just like anybody would. You just want to kick your feet, splash in the water. You're not going waist deep or nothing. It's probably not even ankle deep. Playing with the water, whatever. It's any kid would do that. So the dad sets the kid down, like not right on the water, maybe a few feet away, of course, and just plops the kid down, make sure he's not going anywhere. Cool. Let me just take a couple steps this way, plop down the other kid, make sure he's cool too. And the time it took him to set down as the 2 year old and deal with the 4 year old, alligator comes out of the water, grabs the 2 year old. And I don't know how far away this man was or how fast he moved, but he had time to get his hands on that alligator, try to free his child. That's sadly, it's not the case. Alligator takes off with the kid. Guy's just left to freak out with his other child. That's all he could do. And later on the day, of course 911's called, so you get like the game warden, whoever out there, and they don't know who did it, so they just start killing off alligators. If you were in the area, you're a suspect, just to try to find like the one that did it. Looking for remains, and eventually they did. They found the alligator that got this child, and they found it sounded like they found enough of them to know that like the child drowned. So that sucks. R.I.P. to him. But then I'm thinking, why did this happen? How could this have been prevented? We're dealing with the wild animal here. How can you control nature? It's like, well, let's back up a little bit. The first thing I thought of was the kid kicking and splashing in the water. And again, it just, probably not even ankle deep, just playing in the water a bit. Now the alligator From what I understand, they cannot read. So the signs posted that say no swimming have no effect on them. So you're an alligator. You're chilling with your friends. Everything's calm, and then all of a sudden there's movement. There's food. Like, hey, I see toes. I eat toes. Holy shit, I see that. Nobody else does, but I do, and I'm an alligator. That's where my food comes from. I'm paying attention to this. So it swims up, grabs a child, takes it away. Thought that was going to be dinner. Now that alligator's dead too. Uh, the parents really let this child down because first of all, maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's the state of Florida. Maybe they don't put an alligator on the sign when you land or drive in that says warning, entering Florida. Not welcome to Florida, warning, with a picture of an alligator. That's what I don't know if that's there or not. So maybe that's not even a factor. That maybe the state let everybody down in this situation. We just don't know. That's sort of an unknown thing. But what we do know is that there were signs posted that say no swimming, and this child's feet were in the water. And I realized no swimming doesn't mean don't touch the water at all. But that's what no swimming means. It means don't touch the water at all. And the dad just was not. You want to let the baby have fun. I do understand that, but he's the parent, and he can read. Out of the alligator and the child, he's the only one who's literate. That sign is for him, and he was just I don't know, on vacation, just not thinking nothing bad can happen to me. And now they go from a swim trunks to a funeral, and it just sucks for the family. And like I hope they healed from it, and all that kind of thing. It just sucks. It's just honestly just two little things. Just warn people about Florida and show a crocodile and realize no swimming means no touch, the wet stuff, and we might not have anything to talk about. So if you are on vacation with your little ones and you're the only one who knows how to read, think two or three times about that. So I don't have to watch a video about it on YouTube. Arden says Benny Hill was funny, similar to Laugh-In. I'm gonna check out some Laugh-In. Arden says I even own a Tottenham scarf. John Rogers, yeah, thank God we don't have them here in Ohio. Dill, it was a 2016 at the Disney Grand Floridian Resort. Okay, so it was since. Oh man, that's kind of recent. Ooh, that sucks. Damn. Well, I hope they're doing better now. Like, if there's not already Florida Man to worry about, then there's alligators, and I don't know which one was there first. I hope they didn't break up the family or nothing like that. That's always scary. Yeah, Frank is ending his shows early to drink. He's just trying to shave off minutes and seconds so he can hit the bottle. I think that Tuesday show ended like 10 minutes early. Oh, Frank played it was a Randy Rhoads solo on Crazy Train. Whoa. It was something like some extra tracks he had recorded, and in all these years since the man passed, Ozzy had not heard these recordings, and they're playing them for him, and he's just sitting there listening, just being blown away by his buddy playing. John Rogers says, I was at Disney in 2006, never got to do anything. LOL. Oh, that sucks. Manchester United ahead 1-0. Arden saying. Wait, no. Wednesday. Netflix has Field of Dreams. I've been wanting to watch this for months. I shared that James Horner thing. I've been playing the Irish theme on the piano, and he's there with the director, And I thought I'd never get to see it. It's too popular. It costs money on YouTube. It's movies that are too big or just not on free streaming services. But there it was. It was right there. I was like, holy shit! And at time on Wednesday, so I watched it on Wednesday. So spoilers for a little bit of Field of Dreams from 1989. I've probably seen it twice in my. And like, if I watched it a lot more when I was younger, I don't remember that. I know I've seen it before, possibly more than once, but like this is the first time in modern times that I've actually sat and watched it. And like before, it was just a baseball movie to me, but I can watch movies about sports that I don't care for in real life. That's fine. Was this movie always this good? Because it starts out right away with the score. James Horner again. The man is going hard. Like right from the start, he's in there to be noticed. So I was with it right away with the score. I'm okay with Kevin Costner. He's got the same birthday as me, so I cut him a little bit of slack. But he needs to just explode and just get loud and get emotional and just get bigger with it. Like let those emotions out. Stop being so restrained and just let loose, buddy. Yeah, free the beast, whatever the hell. But that's sort of his style. Sometimes it comes out a little bit more, but he just has a sort of understated acting style. It's not that he's a bad actor. It's just a little bit like that. And the lady playing the wife, she is using her like spunky little kid energy to play a wife. It's very off-putting. It's very I remember not caring for her character before, and then just watching it now, like this chick, she was reminding me of the lady from Magic. Like, did you watch Magic before you came to this? Did I just want to be in like she's a good actress, but it's just the wrong energy for that character. You're playing a wife, not a teenager. And then they have a daughter named Karen. I was like, oh no, this little chick is badass as fuck, cool as hell, not like a modern Karen. But you guys know Field of Dreams. This guy's dad just sort of was a baseball fan, and he kind of just couldn't care because he was growing up in the 60s, and then his father passed away, and he never really got to connect with him again as an adult. And now he has his own family, and he's living on just in Iowa. Just corn everywhere, but not in a creepy Children of the Corn kind of way. Well, here's a voice, builds a field, has no idea why. It's like that. That's your money right there. Right? Like, corn is cash. Like, dude, you're making a bad choice, and everybody drives out to come watch it. Like, oh, his dumbass is tearing up his cash crop. Just he's a damn fool, and all this stuff. But he does. He builds his field, and he sees it's either him or his daughter. Is like there's a man out in the field. Like everything's surrounded by corn. How is there a man out there? So he goes to look, and it's some dude in a white baseball uniform. Like when they play home games and they have to wear white. I know that much. John Rogers, I will never watch anything dealing with sports. I can watch a sports movie all day, but I'm not going to sit there and watch a game unless like somebody I know is playing it. And even then, I'm just, when are they at bat? I'm looking at my phone. Dandy says raccoons scare him, but they seem to be fairly harmless. They sort of seem like it. They got those hands though that they can just like pick stuff up like a pen and just. Dale says you can visit the actual place where they filmed the Field of Dreams. You can also rent the house. I was hoping that was true. I'm like, they're gonna plow all this area just to turn it into corn again. I'm glad it's still there. I'm so glad it's still there. That was a long time ago. 89? Holy shit. But anyway, guy walks out there, and there's this baseball player there. It's Ray Liotta, but that's Shoeless Joe Jackson. I'm like, wait, Frank just read a book about this guy. Maybe it's the same guy in the book Frank read. I wonder if he's seen this movie. I know he has, but I'm just like, wow, it's all connected. I don't know about the history of baseball. I just know this movie, so I'm Now, I'm just gonna get into what the film shows us, but it's he just can't believe he's in a baseball field. So I forget the name of Kevin Costner's character. He offers to, like hit a few balls for a dude to catch, and the first time he throws a ball, he swings and it just goes right into the dirt. And dude must have been like so embarrassed. Like here's one of his idols, and he just embarrassed himself. But like hits a few, dude catches them. He pitches a few, guy, hitting them low and away, and all this kind of thing. They're not out there for too long. I would only say like maybe an hour. They're just hanging out, kicking it, middle of the day. Danny, yeah, Shoeless Joe, the guy with no feet. Yeah, they explained that in the movie. It was they were slowing him down, so he cut off his feet. That's why it was so good. But again, like they're up there for an hour, just kind of not really talking too much, just playing the game. And then, it's starting to sort of get late, so dude's got to go back inside to the family, dinner time and all this. I forget if his wife and his daughter are out there with him yet. They must say that they moseyed on out there, and they built little bleachers, so they're kind of like hanging out and just looking like, oh my god, this is so cool. So, Kevin Costner goes back to walk with his family. Now Joe can only walk so far. It's like where everything is sort of like gravelly, and then like the grass starts. That he can't walk into that. Like he can't walk on our grass. He can walk on the baseball grass, but not on like the everybody else grass. That's just where the barrier is. But he's out there and he's just kind of like just taking it all in. He's like, "Is this heaven?" Costner's like, "You're in Iowa." It's like, oh. And it's just a look in his eyes. He doesn't say a lot. It's not a huge, big performance. It's very, like he's just sort of, you can tell he's just thinking a lot about what he's seeing. He's never been in a place like this before, and he hasn't been on, been able to play the game in so long. It's kind of, you can tell it's kind of tripping him out. And he's just taking in the like just the side of it, the enormity of it. Like it's a baseball. It takes up an area, and he's sort of over by the corn, and he's slowly walking towards Kevin Costner and his family. And I don't try to think about other things when I'm watching media, trying to take it as itself, but I start to think about Minecraft, because as he's walking on the grass, the ADR grass walking on sounds just like when you're walking on the grass in Minecraft. Almost like they use the sound of real grass for that video game. Wow. And then I start thinking about how every so often I think about going to those fields of purple flowers and purple trees in Minecraft. Like sometimes just the thought of it is enough. Sometimes I think, okay, if I had a computer and I had a Steam account and I could, at just varying degrees of how I can make that a reality for myself. But I do think about that. Uh, let's just say often, not every day, but often. It's kind of my happy place. Like Tiffany's for Holly Golightly. That's sort of what it is to me. It's raining. Um, so he's walking on this grass, and this place he thinks is heaven. And I'm thinking about those purple flowers. And as he walks up to Kevin Costner, he kind of stops, and he's just kind of taking it all in. He's like, "Hey, can I come back here?" He's like, "Yeah, I built it for you." It's maybe half an hour into the movie when he says, "Can I come back here?" I was done. I did just like glasses off, grabbing the tissues, bawling my fucking eyes out, because like we know it's built for him, but in that second, Kevin hasn't said that line, so we don't know that's the reality of it. So just, can I come back here? Sure, I built it for you. Like that's his field of purple flowers in Minecraft. That's his happy place. That's his heaven. Asking if he can come back there. Yeah, you can come back there. This is always going to exist for you. Again, 30 minutes into like a 2 hour movie, and I'm already bawling. And then the rest of the movie goes on. And it's like, I could not keep my face dry. I just kept crying at different parts. Like, was this movie, oh, was this good? It's not me. It wasn't like a time of the month thing or nothing like that. And I'm crying again now. I'm like, why was this movie this good? I'm sure it wouldn't have hit me that hard when I was a child watching it in the, late or early 90s. Can I come back here? I love that. So yeah, and I like the rest of the movie's good. Other stuff happens. I'm not gonna spoil everything for you. That little girl Karen's a badass, though. I will tell you that. It is on Netflix. I would have hate to like sat there and reviewed it and talk about it. Like here's a show you couldn't watch unless you paid for Netflix, which costs whatever the hell. Like that would have made me feel like a dick. So I didn't want to do that. Plus I was too busy like crying. This is so good. And then like the score, the James Horner score with it just it's so good. There was one point in there I'm like, oh, here we go, like a modern feminist type whatever thing. Like aside from like a couple of like cheesy moments, it was the late '80s. That's how it was. Oh my god, it's so good. And then I'm like, if this was a modern movie, they would have ruined it by like explaining how the magic system works, or yeah, it's stuff like that, or like we're gonna fill out the backstory for this character. Like, no, we don't need that. We don't have time for that. It's And then I think about that interview, the director talking about they screened the film for James Horner, and he sat there and watched it, and as soon as it was done, he didn't say nothing. He just got up and left the room. And so his agent was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Wait here. Let me go get him, find out what happened. And the director thought, oh my God, he hates it so much. He couldn't even say, no, I'm not interested. He just got up and left. Like, dude, like, I can't take it. But the manager, the agent dude comes back in. He's like, listen, James is okay. He's just out there composing himself. He was just so moved by the raw footage. Dude had to step out and cry. It was just got to him that much, and that's a dude who knows nothing about baseball scoring that movie. Oh, it's so good. It's so damn good. Love it. But Wednesday was weird because we got all the way to Frank and there was no Gray Still Plays upload. No chime, no nothing. When Frank went live, I had to make sure Gray had not uploaded so I don't embarrass myself saying you pants off and all that stuff. But it wasn't. Come to find out, he didn't. I guess I'll come back around to that. This is when it starts. We have not seen Frank since Tuesday because starting on Wednesday, Jeffrey was there. That bald headed bastard with no hat. Where the hell is Frank? Frank's passed out in the green room on the couch. Dill said, did I ever see Brian's song? So sad. That movie makes me sob. I haven't. No. I've heard of it, have not seen it. This is when the lady was on Barbie. She was wearing a white shirt, so hat on. She was one who it's like she wanted to have a big family, so she had her first 4 kids, but like in rapid succession. But then it got to be her son was 6. They go to put him in school, and the school's like, oh, he's retarded. And so the mom's like, no, he's not. Fuck you guys. I'm going to homeschool him. And so that's what she's been doing ever since. She homeschooled her kids. Now she homeschools a few other kids, and it's turned into like a big homeschooling thing in Florida. But it's sad because she started out, she was married. She's a single mom now. It sounds like what happened was just gleaning information from her story. It's like her son was diagnosed, and then within a year, she'd gotten divorced. Like, did you guys get divorced over the kid? Oh my God, what the hell was going on? That sucks. But I mean, like, they're all okay now. Michael said, you talking reminded me of All the Real Girls. Lo and behold, it's on Tubi. Oh, what's that? Is that a movie or a TV show? William Cooper, Frank, you're not drinking White Claws, are you? Keck. something, whatever's in that, water cup. This doesn't make sense. I wrote down Jake the Crow, Adam. Have no idea what that means. Oh, it's a movie, Michael? Okay. Uh, all the real girls. Is that anything to do with cross dressing? Yeah, and like her kids get into things, and then she like, okay, well, let's go to the library and find out more books about this thing you're into, which is what you should do if kids are into certain areas. If they're into airplanes or something, get them some aviation books. Check that kind of stuff out. Like, let them learn about the stuff they're into, and then they'll realize learning is fun, and then they'll want to learn more. Um, Hopefully not in school and just learn on their own so they can really learn. And she did have her book out. She's got like it's an older picture of herself and her kids on the cover, like kids as in people under 18. Kind of creepy, but she seems like a nice lady. She had this picture behind her. I thought it was like a picture, and it was a painting she did. Like, damn, I guess so. Michael, your mood will completely determine if you think it's great or make fun of it instantly. Is that like how people like love or hate Napoleon Dynamite? You can't even mention that movie to some people. They just flat out hate it. Like, you don't understand. It was shot so well. And I was thinking about the Zells for some reason. They have not called in for a while. So I don't know, maybe my Zell meter got too low. So I was thinking about them. And then Jim Zell called in. I wrote down 8:25 p.m. Yeah. He had stuff to say. It was so cool to hear. It's weird to hear one and not the other one. And then yeah, schools really should teach manners since the parents can't. We were over that last time. I really think there should be like a class in school called manners, like start it in kindergarten or whatever, have it go all the way through, college. And if you don't get straight A's in that class, you're held back because nobody wants to deal with your rude ass out in public. Most of the problems out there come from bad manners. Like, shut the fuck up and wait your turn. John, yeah, she was a good guest, yeah. Patrick said he's been to London many times and lots of those places to see those guards that can't move and they stand still for so long they just pass out. That's healthy. Michael, yes, it's basically a drama version of Napoleon Dynamite with a dash of gummo. All right. Because Napoleon Dynamite, it's shot in an interesting way. They do a lot of, it'll be, say, like a far shot, but you can see like the whole sidewalk and a car parked in the middle. They do a lot of shots like that. It's not just a slice of life movie about folks you just think are kind of dorky. It's rather camp. So if you're not into camp, you probably wouldn't like it. Just people genuinely being themselves, whether or not they come off as silly or not. Some people can't get that. Everybody has to be a cookie cutter, predictable version of a human, or they just don't know how to deal. Because you're really not going to find characters that act like the characters in this film elsewhere. They're very much doing their own little understated thing. And then there's that dance scene that comes out of nowhere. See, microbreweries. This did not come up on the show. This was a chat room thing, but microbreweries are not what I thought at all. And I'm never gonna not be upset about this because I thought what they really are. It's just a brewery, but it's maybe just in one building, and there's possibly a bar there. Not a good word for it. What I thought a microbrewery was they just everything was just made super small, like a dollhouse. So when you get your mug of beer, it's literally like maybe the size of your thumb, and you drink it like that, like micro, teeny tiny, like that. But no, I from what I haven't been in one. I'm just sort of like I don't drink beer. Um, but I guess you just get a regular cup and it's a regular bar and you drink it and nothing's teeny tiny like a dollhouse. So nothing's micro. Just call it a tiny bar. They named it wrong. Oh, we owe you Bill Cooper. Those hats the guards wear are made from Canadian black bear. Whoa. Patrick saying they're in the main they are in the main just ordinary people like us, but some people do take the piss and then find out they shouldn't. Yeah. Like microbrewery, like a place where you'd see like hobbits or something, or like halflings. Maybe that's where the midgets drink. No, no. Make me look stupid. You're the one who named it wrong. And some more gross out content on the show. The Jamboree should have been called Only Franklies. But don't ask me. That's why you come up with some lame ass names. Only Franklies. Come on, Frank, get with it. Microbrews. Like how many? It's. I mean, like yeah, they're probably still gonna charge you $4, but it's 10,000 proof. You'll wake up Tuesday. Yeah, so I didn't find out until after the show ended. Apparently, Grace Still Plays did upload, but it wasn't until like 7:02 p.m. Which I'm no mathematician, but that's nowhere near 4 p.m. But it went up there. It was like 32-minute long. Grace Still Plays Grand Theft Auto video. Couldn't watch it that night because it was Wednesday. I get up early on Wednesday. I passed the F out. So I watched it on Thursday. This is different. He's never done this before. It's Grand Theft Auto. One of his boards creators makes, but down in the corner we can see he's in the thumbnail too. It's a guy. He looked English anyway, and then he speaks, and he's from the UK. This is a guy named Pete, and Pete drives a truck, just delivery trucks in the UK. Been doing that 10 years for different companies, and that's his job. That's his 9 to 5. Plays a little bit of Grand Theft Auto. He's playing the board. We hear Gray. Gray is just kind of talking him through what to do while this guy drives through the course. Like stuff like, hey, you're gonna want to cut this corner a little bit sharper. Actually, if you just ramp over that, if you bust through that fence, like actually, because I've never seen anybody obey the laws so well in Grand Theft Auto in my whole life, no matter if they're a UK driver or an American driver. And Gray's like, I hate to say this, but you're gonna fail because you're following the law. Like you don't stop at, he wasn't stopping at stop signs, but like they go off road, stuff like that. And he's talking him through it. The guy's a good player. He does really well. And Gray's helping him just, line up shots and stuff like that. He's like, hey, if it gets too tough, I'll take over for you. No worries. We owe you Bill Cooper. Yeah, only Frank Lee's. Come on. And it gets so far and he keeps getting stuck in this one spot. Like he keeps getting a little bit farther every time, but he just really can't get through this one windy area. And the guy's like, I think I'm gonna let you take over, Gray. And Gray's like, all right, but I just want to let you know I'm just kind of wanting to see your tenacity, to see how much you're going to stick through it. So if you power through this because you get a little bit farther every time, I'll give you some kind of like completion bonus thing. Guy's like, okay, cool. So he gets through it, does the whole course, and he's also getting interviewed at the same time. Gray's asking him, like how long he's been driving for, how much Grand Theft Auto he plays. Did he ever get, like held up, like at gunpoint, or anybody ever, did his truck ever blow up when he wasn't in it? Just, some of the questions are very silly. Some of them are just a little bit more serious. But it was like half Grand Theft Auto, half interview. And we've never seen Gray interview anybody before, so he did both really well. He's doing the commentary and all that. And so the dude finally he plays the whole board himself. He gets to the end, he wins. And so Gray's like, so okay, since you played the whole board without me helping, what I'm gonna do is get you a new gaming computer. Because apparently when the dude first was getting set up, his personal computer couldn't handle it. He had to borrow a buddy's computer to even participate in this thing. So, well, with that in mind, Gray bought him a whole brand new gaming computer. Dude's like, "Oh, cool, thank you. Wow, that'll help." And then, like the very last thing they show, it's like dude has it all set up in his house. He's like, "Yep, this is my new computer. If Gray still plays and just all that." And somewhere in the video, Gray mentioned he's like, "This is a thing that they're sort of trying out that they want to do, where they would want to take just whatever vehicles are in Grand Theft Auto that he wants to get people who do that in real life to play the game. So if you're a pilot, probably military personnel. If you do drive, like big old semi trucks, like any boat captain, people like that. He wants to get in touch with him to possibly like do this kind of thing like he did with Pete. And my first thought was Miami Rick, but I don't know that guy personally. Plus, I don't know if that guy plays Grand Theft Auto, and that's kind of Frank's friend. But like, that is so cool to have somebody who does it in real life do it in the game, just to see how it translates. Like at one point, there's a part where Pete could have either driven and run over a guy, or driven around him. So he drives around the guy, and Gray's like, "Oh, I see you chose not to run that dude over." Guy's like, "Yeah, that's the training for you." Really cool guy. If you don't know what English folks are like, again, just very, he's concentrating on a video game, but just not super chatty, just kind of says what he has to say, like, not a hugely expressive face, just nose to the grindstone thing. It was so much fun. I liked it. John Rogers says, I need to find the piano video from that. Ooh, which piano video? So no Frank again on Thursday. We got Jeffrey again, but with his water, air quotes, drink, and he's got his gross out content immediately. Apparently Matt McCat is in Chicago. Is he gonna do the cat version of the Blues Brothers? Don't know. We'll find out. Maybe he's beating up third graders there. Can't say. We were talking about temperature, and John Michael Karma said that Celsius is sweetened with sucralose, which crosses the blood-brain barrier. I forgot Celsius is a drink, but at the time I thought he meant the temperature. That was hilarious. Never drink any of those flavored or alcoholic sparkling water unless you come out to your family first. Dragon Sage called in. He calls in sometimes. We had like Canadian callers. Like the one guy called in and he said he was Canadian, but he really didn't sound like it too much. And then we doubled down and Dragon Sage called in. That was cool. But then he started mentioning a lot of different peoples, and then Frank got, or Jeffrey got nervous. But that was cool to hear from him. Dragon Sage calls in sometimes. Oh, Dragon Sage, the one with a black guy and the piano going around shooting people. Hmm. I wonder if that sounds familiar. What was it? Yeah, people who base their identity on their race. Um, that's really only something people who are not American do because they don't know who the hell they are because they shouldn't be here, so they have to. Your skin color does not determine your personality. That makes no. People didn't talk that way or do those kind of things when I was a kid, so that's just something, some new ridiculousness. Yeah, Tony Black's gonna be fine. That's when we found out on Thursday. But then we found out the next day he's gonna be okay, so no worries. John Rogers has a song with it. Michael, yeah, Dragon Sage was great, so sweet also. Yeah, he's a nice guy. For a dragon, he's so chill. Patrick, gotta admit, haven't been to, quite frankly, in a couple weeks. We'll have to pop in again. Yeah. We always have fun on the chat room. That's when a fella called Dean called in talking about, yeah, get Frank on the line, get this guy out of the chair. Who the hell is this? So whoever Dean is, that guy's cool by me. He realizes Frank or Jeffrey should not be in Frank's chair. Yeah, Friday is. I sort of missed it by a day that the Madonna Veronica Electronica album. Um, I'll get to that next show. There's like 10 minutes left, and there's things to say about it. I don't want to squeeze everything at the end, but I'll put a pin in that. If you're a Madonna fan, hang out. I'll get to that next month. Next month? Yeah, next month. Yeah, that's what Frank was saying in Discord. 40 more tickets. No, wait. 40 more tickets. Plus 10 to. Now I don't understand. Maybe he meant 40 more tickets total, plus 10 to 15 for the VIP. So 10 to 15 more people for the VIP event. Maybe a lot more people for the like just the Garcia's events at the end of the month. So look out for that coming up next week. I don't know how he's going to go about giving them away or just saying they're going to be for sale, or I just don't know. We talked about Oasis. Oasis has great songs. You want to watch or listen to the albums. I don't know if I'm getting them in order, but What's the Story, Morning Glory, and Be Here Now. I know they have albums other than that. Those are just the two I know the best from the mid 90s. So one of them starts out with the song Do You Know What I Mean? Goes hard as fuck. It's something like 7 minutes long. It starts out the album. I remember playing that a lot when I was playing Xenogears. But like that's good. Don't Look Back in Anger. Everybody knows Wonderwall. Champagne Supernova. Champagne Supernova is when I found out you could say hi in that song on MTV and nothing happened. But if you said the word hi in a rap video, that got censored. And that was like, what, 1995? Michael said it sounded like they needed to sell them because the VIP tickets already, had sold out, but there was still some left for. No, that's what it was. He only needed to sell 40 more tickets to the Garcia's event. I'm glad you said that. But then he is thinking about adding 10 to 15 more tickets for the VIP event. That's what it was. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it came back to me. And that was Friday, so who knows how many have sold out or how many have sold since then. But yeah, no Frank again. This was just Jeffrey in the chair, 3 days straight. WTF. He looks like the American Patrick Stewart. Like, start doing some Shakespeare, man. We Owe You Bill Cooper. Do You Know What I Mean is a great song. I Am H.O. Hell yeah. Like the album starts with this. What the? It does. I mean, to be honest, with my tinnitus, there are a few parts that hurt my ears a little bit, but I would say on the whole, I could get through that. Arden, Manchester U versus West Ham now 2-0. Bummer. Hope Wally leaves the game early. It's like, son of a bitch. That one lady who always calls in, like she's blind, she would not be able to read the chat room at all, but she was talking about how she'll order an Uber and they don't speak English, so she can't give them directions and they don't know how to drive. Plus, they're in a Tesla. I'm so worried for this chick. Like, I wish she had somebody in her life to help her out, and she can't see the chat room. This poor, she doesn't, thankfully, she doesn't, maybe she doesn't realize how bad she has it. That couldn't be me. More power to her. I'm glad she listens to the show and likes it enough to call in. Damn, I wish somebody was with her to help her out. John Rogers, yeah, too close for him coming back from Missouri for him to go. Yeah, you'd literally be home like what, a week, maybe two, just to get back in the car again. That's kind of a lot. Michael, I learned that racial lesson watching Criminal Minds starring Michelle Pfeiffer and Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man. That one lady talking about nobody would date her. That clip could not have been more than 15 seconds long. And what got my attention first was the fact that this chick was cursing like a sailor, pissed off nobody would date her ass. And then you look at her, and she's wearing orange. Strange to see an all orange dress. She's 40 if she's a day, talking like a porn actress and also looking like one. Like she looks like she's been doing porn for at least a decade and a half. Um, honey, it's you. Whatever you think the problem is, it's you. Oh, Michael, I'm sorry, I missed it. Title of what? Patrick said, Arden, it's only a preseason game. As long as you win the real games, that's what matters. Dangerous Minds. Yeah, that's the. Yeah, Criminal Minds was the TV show. Dangerous Minds was the movie with Michelle Pfeiffer. And they did the music video with Coolio, A Gangster's Paradise. And then watch the music video for Amish Paradise by Weird Al Yankovic. There's one shot. It's shot in reverse. So, like, it looks like it's normal to us, but in real life they would have had to film it in reverse to make it look like that with the stuff going on in the background. It's genius. And then Frank's aunt broke her hip. What the fuck? Because Frank, a few years ago, he told us his grandma fell and broke her hip. And anytime you hear an old person falls and breaks their hip, yeah, at least me, I always think the worst, but she healed and lived from it. And now it again. Well, what is it with that family and breaking hips? Is it all on one side of the family? Is it both sides of the family? This is twice now. Don't let it happen a third time. Oh, and the one caller called in talking about she's trying to tell some story about her husband, and they've been together for maybe like 30 or 40 or 50 years. And she's trying to explain something, and way in the background we hear, she's full of shit. That guy put him on the phone. That was hilarious. That was the best call. You can tell they're married. She's full of shit. We owe you. Bill Cooper says, was great to be here with you and everyone. Nikki, have to leave. Volunteer sober for a dance tonight. Oh, yeah, take care up there. Yeah, you too. Drive safe. And then this show, the Friday show ended at something like 8:40 because Frank has to go drink. His excuse was to let that guy come in who was gonna mess with like the light and stuff in there, but the door locks from the outside, so the dude was probably out there scratching at the door the way how he would do with Matt McCat. So that was his, reason for leaving. And then he did not mention doing his show tonight in a half an hour at all. So I'm sort of assuming that's not going to go on, but I'm still going to be like ready to jump on my equipment in a half an hour just in case. But he didn't announce it on Friday, and I was there listening, so I guess not. He's been missing a lot of his Saturday shows. Glug glug. Oh, Aaron's saying it's an hour and a half drive from West Philadelphia suburbs to the Meadowlands, New Jersey. That's not so bad. That's really not. But yeah, if you made it to the end of the show, smash that like button right now. It helps out the channel. Thank you guys I'm up to 248 subscribers. So that's you guys. Thanks so much for that. I physically cannot subscribe to my own channel. Patrick, my mom broke her hip and spent the next 7 years as miserable as she ever was, then passed. Oh, just, no change. That's what it is when you get older. What else hurts? So yeah, next week it's not going to be a full week because Frank is off on the first, so we get 4 days next week. I don't know if they're going to be a full 2 hours each, but we're going to show up for 4 shows. And then we get 2 shows next week here on Friday and Saturday. So good stuff. Michael says, good to see you. Thank you, Nikki. Evening, everybody. Yeah, take it easy. Arden says, goodbye, all. Going for a walk before it's dark. Been great chatting. Yeah, glad you guys showed up. John Rogers says, I'm not there yet, but I will be in 2 weeks. I have to be there for the bicentennial celebration of Route 66. Oh, at the birthplace. Oh, I didn't know that. That is so cool. Have fun with that. And don't forget your pants because you won't be back here for a few days. Drink plenty of water. I know Tony Black's fine, but just keep him in your thoughts. He's like our like the show's grandpa or something. He's supposed to be at the event at Garcia's, so I'm sure he won't be there for the whole evening, just for a little while. Ready? Have a good rest of your weekend. Yeah, you too. Take it easy. Try to stay cool. Stay hydrated. Get something to eat. Get some good sleep. Patrick said, great talking to you all. Cheers, Nikki. Take care, everyone. Yeah, you too. But stay based. Keep your head on a swivel. Or always support all of your favorite content creators. Check out some Dark Shadows because once I start plowing into that, I don't know. I'm reviewing so much that when I start talking about it, I won't have to be like, oh no, I've got to stop because this is where I'm up to. Like, no, I'm just going to plow right into that shit. You're just going to have to deal with it. Oh, Centennial. Yeah, that road's been there for so long, it might as well be. George Washington built the Route 66, if you didn't know. Yeah, don't go to quitefrankly.tv for updates on the show. Get those directly from Quite Frankly or possibly secondhand from me, but that's a bit sketchy. If you do have Netflix, watch Field of Dreams. If you've never seen it, you want to see it. James Horner, and there's magic they don't explain, so you can try to figure it out yourself. And Corn. Best of luck to your football teams. John Rogers, 100 years of Route 66. Wow. Now YouTube needs to start recommending some videos about me so I can get brushed up on that history. Oh, I can't get to the close button. Yeah, so I hope Frank gets sober. Actually, the Friday show was the first time he didn't mention AI, have any gross out humor, or whistle. That's the first time that's happened, and I don't know how long. But it wasn't even Frank, it was Jeffrey. So if we can get Frank back on the chair on Monday, who knows? Oh, Michael, yeah, All the Real Girls. Is that free somewhere? All the. Oh, I'll look in my places. It sounds like a documentary about like cross dressing, just off top without knowing anything else about it. I like that. Oh yeah, Patrick. Yeah, nearly as old as my street. LOL. Yeah, in America we have stuff that's like 100 and 200 years old, and then people in the UK are like, "Oh, that's nice. This building's 500 years old." It's pat on the head. Oh, it's a comedy on Tubi. Oh yeah, nice. I can get to that then. Oh, John Rogers, I go every year to the Birthplace Festival. Oh, that's so much fun. I miss going to festivals. But yeah, you guys are the best. Thanks for giving me a platform so I can sit in front of you guys for 2 hours and talk about almost anything. It's a trip. It's nice to feel like I'm a part of something bigger, and not be an asshole about it and think I'm an influencer or I'm a bit bigger than like I don't have a big head about it. I like that. Like, yeah, great to see you. Yeah, great to see you guys too. I love all you Franklies. Hug your families. Drink plenty of water. And if you do get into dance music, do check out that Madonna, Veronica Electronica, that very, very dance remix album. Only online unless you buy the vinyl. Brenda, friendly hangout. Thanks, Nikki. Oh, thank you. Oh, John Rogers. They started in Springfield, Ohio. Crew worked to One worked to California, one to Chicago. Oh, that's better starting in the middle and working out rather than starting at both ends and working in and realizing like, oh, we gotta, oops, we're not quite, we gotta destroy a town. And okay, very smart. Danny, yeah, talking about anything is great. Love this chat. Yeah, very, very loose. Because if I come in here with a plan, I'll have to set up 3 separate shows in 2 hours, and nobody wants that. We'll just keep it loose. So, hey, you guys are awesome. Maybe Frank will be going live in a few minutes or in about 25 minutes here. We'll see. Yeah, maybe not, but check out Rumble. And till next time.